Yo, I've never even heard something similar like this.
I've never heard something similar. Yo, this is unique and slick. I love the vibe, man.
Please, make a tutorial on this.
Wow, you're so hot and sexy. Okay, the last one was a lie. What's going on, guys? My name is Alex or Cruth or whatever the... Today I'm going to show you how I made the sound from the drop in my new song, CURFEW. So we're going to go through this journey together. I'm going to show you how the sound went from this to this, then later to this, and then finally to that. So this is the very first version of this song. I wrote this drop in a kitchen in Cusco. I was just kind of experimenting with this sample. So the first thing I did was grab the sample, put it on the playlist, and stretch it out. Since this sound doesn't necessarily have a note to give it some sort of tonality, I've just made peaks in E6, which is 1318 hertz. This one here is not very specific, but I just brought it up to have some bass. So without the EQ, and with the EQ on, so then we have a multi-band compressor, making everything a little bit more, So then I added a stereo enhancer. As you guys know, I like to experiment, so I automated the stereo separation very, very quickly with this square looking thing. So I felt like that was giving it some cool space. Finally, I added a Saturn. And I think this is what's giving it the crispiness. I put it on the clean preset, but I've also moved around the bands. Finally, I added a Pro L, which is just a limiter. And that was the first chapter of this sound. And at this time, the song was called Shaky, just because it was shaky. Let's go into a more updated version. Let's go to 7 or something. This project got a little bit more interesting. There's got a lot more stuff going on. So on the original chain, I just added an isotope trash without it, with it. So it's bringing out the higher end frequencies. I'm doing a multi-band distortion, and I'm only affecting this mid-band and this high band. Then, as you can see here, I've routed that sound to 3 different channels. We have this one all the way over here, 19, and this one is just for the mids and a reverb. I don't know why I did that. Then it's going to a sub channel, well, a channel that I named sub. And here I have a high cut filter that is just letting the sub frequencies through, being wave shaped by a wave shaper, making it sound like this. Fuck these glitches. And then we have another channel which is the mid high, and this one has this weird EQ. Again, I'm making peaks on specific sounds. I wanted this sound to have a tonality, so I kept on peaking the E notes. So E note 659, another E note there, and another E note there. And then I also added a trash, and also I'm affecting both of these 2 bands. All of these, this one's going to these 3, and then these 3 are going to this final channel, has another EQ with this. You're gonna see that I am EQing everything. Basically, the way I'm designing the sound is by adding and removing specific frequencies. Then I consolidated this, and it became this solid sound because obviously my PC couldn't handle all that shit. That's the sound that we created up until this point. So then I did more processing on that sound, and we have this super, super weird EQ. The reason why is because I noticed I went overboard with some of those peaks on the previous processing, so I wanted to kind of tame that a little bit. So then I added a limiter again to bring it back up because I removed so many frequencies. Okay, this is just the parametric EQ that I used for filtering the sound. As you can see, it opens up. And finally, another Pro Q. Also doing some filtering for the low pass and bringing down some of that low end frequency. And that is pretty much what we got up until this point. But wait, there's more. So this is the final project. So when I got to this point, I already had gone through so many different changes. Right about now, the main lead sounds like this. So I still processed it even more from here. Let me turn on the effects. All right, so what's going on here? So I actually added this after, but in the order of effects, this is the first thing. This is multipass. I used the preset called harmonic duplicator. I've raised both a little bit of low harmonics and high harmonics so that it gives it a little bit more harmonies. So this is what it sounds like without it. And this is with the harmonic duplicator. Definitely add a little bit more harmonic information. Then I added a Pro Q, another funky, crazy thing. I actually decided to get rid of the low end and add a separate low end, which we will get to in just a second. All right, and then we have a Pro Q to bring up the sound because I have EQ'd so much of it out. Then a Valhalla room. Finally, another EQ that looks like this. I know a lot of this EQing seems so contradicting, but that's just how it went down for this. Because I was just like experimenting. I'm fucking around. I'm correcting myself. I did not remove the low end completely. I removed maybe what you would consider the low mid. This EQ here is doing. As you can see here, I've removed this area right here, the low mid area, but I kept the sub. Why did I do that? Well, I started noticing that when I played this song on like other systems, like other speakers, there would be a really big difference between this bass right here, which was the Jersey Club kind of 808, and what I'm calling the heli bass. Like I wanted to be more similar. So what I did is I took the bass and I cut it up, and now I have that 808 in this form. It's actually going through a little EQ like that. And so that frequency was covering this area here. So without it, and then with it, you can hear that it's covering that frequency range, and it's just more of a fuller sound. That's gonna be it for today's video.
Use code BIGBEATS for 30% off my new sample pack, High Energy.
Who said that? That's gonna be it for today's video. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed, and I will see you guys on the next shit. Peace.